Good morning, students. Today we are going to start new chapter number 10, microbes in human welfare. We know that everywhere surrounding us are microbes. Thousands and lakhs of varieties of microbes are present around us. Some of them are useful to us and some of them may harm to us. In this chapter, we will be studying microbes in household products, microbes in industrial products, microbes in sewage treatment plants, microbes in production of biogas, microbes as biocontrol agents, and microbes as biofertilizers. So these are the topics that we are going to study in this chapter. Let us introduce ourselves with the uses of microbes. Besides macroscopic plants and animals, microbes are the major components of biological systems on this earth. We have studied about the diversity of living organisms in class 11. Do you remember which kingdoms among the living organisms contain microorganisms, which are the ones that are only microscopic? Microbes are present everywhere in soil, water, air, inside our body, and that of other animals and plants. Hence, they are known as omnipresent. They are present even at sites where no other life form could possibly exist, sites such as deep inside the geyser, thermal vents, where the temperature may be as high as 100 degrees Celsius, deep in the soil under the layers of snow several meters thick, and in highly acidic environments. Microbes are diverse. They may be protozoans, bacteria, fungi, and microscopic animal and plant viruses, viroids, and also prions that are proteinacious infectious agents. Some of the microbes are shown in the figure. Microbes like bacteria and many fungi can be grown on nutritive media to form colonies that can be seen with the naked eyes. Such cultures are useful in studies on microorganisms. Let us see the microbes that can be helpful. Here are some bacteria, rod-shaped, magnified at 1500x, spherical shaped, magnified at 1500x, and a rod-shaped bacterium showing flagella magnified at 50,000x. Next figure shows you the virus, a bacteriophage, adenovirus, which causes respiratory infection, rod-shaped tobacco mosaic virus, TMV, that are magnified about 1 lakh to 1,50,000x. Here are the colonies of bacteria growing on a petri dish, as well as colony of fungi growing in a petri dish. In chapter 8, we have read about the microbes causing a large number of diseases in human beings. They also cause diseases in animals and plants. But this should not make you think that all microbes are harmful. Several microbes are useful to man in diverse ways. Some of the most important contributions of microbes to human welfare are discussed in this chapter. So let us start with the microbes in household products. You would be surprised to know that if we use microbes or products derived from them every day, a common example is the production of curd from milk. Microorganisms such as Lactobacillus and other commonly called lactic acid bacteria lab grow in milk and convert it into curd. During growth, the lab produce acids that coagulate and partially digest the milk protein. A small amount of curd added to the fresh milk as inoculum or starter contain millions of lab which at suitable temperature multiply, thus converting milk into curd, which also improves its nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. In our stomach too, the lab play very beneficial role in checking the disease causing bacteria. The dough, which is used for making foods such as dosa, idli, are also fermented by bacteria. The puffed up appearance of dough is due to the production of carbon dioxide gas. Can you tell which metabolic pathway is taking place resulting in the formation of CO2? Where do you think the bacteria for these fermentation come from? Similarly, the dough which is used for making bread is fermented using baker's yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae. A number of traditional drinks and foods are also made by fermentation by the microbes. Toddy, a traditional drink of some parts of southern India, is made by fermenting sap from palm. Microbes are also used to ferment fish, soybean, and bamboo shoots to make food. Cheese is one of the oldest food items in which microbes were used. Different varieties of cheese are known by their characteristic texture, flavor, and taste. The specificity comes from microbes that are used. For example, large holes in Swiss cheese are due to the production of large amount of CO2 by a bacterium named Propionibacterium sharmanii. The Roquefort cheese are ripened by growing a specific fungi on them which gives them a particular flavor. Now, microbes used in industrial products. Even in industry, microbes are used to synthesize a number of products valuable to human being. Beverages and antibiotics are some examples. Production on an industrial scale requires growing microbes in a very large vessel called fermenter. Let us have a look how the fermenter looks. Here are the big vessels that are known as fermenter in which microbes are grown. Fermented beverages, microbes especially yeast, have been used from time immemorial for the production of beverages like wine, beer, whisky, brandy or rum. For this purpose, the same yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for making bread and commonly known as brewer's yeast. It is used for fermenting malted cereals and fruit juices to produce ethanol. Do you recollect the metabolic reactions which result in the production of ethanol by yeast? Depending on the type of the raw material used for fermentation and the type of processing, that is with or without distillation, different types of alcoholic drinks are obtained. Wine and beer are produced without distillation, whereas whisky, brandy and rum are produced by distillation of the fermented broth. The photograph of a fermentation plant is shown here in this figure. Here are the big vessels known as fermenters. Antibiotics. Antibiotics produced by microbes are regarded as one of the most significant discovery of the 20th century and have greatly contributed towards the welfare of the human society. Anti means against and bio means life. Together they mean against life. In Greek language, antibiotic means against life in the context of microorganisms causing diseases. Whereas the reference to human being, they are pro-life and not against. Antibiotics are chemical substances which are produced by some microbes and can kill or retard the growth of the other microbe, which may be a disease causing microbe. So they prove to be a pro-life for human but anti-life or against life for the disease causing organisms. You are familiar with the commonly used antibiotic penicillin. Do you know that penicillin was first antibiotic to be discovered and it was a by chance discovery? Alexander Fleming, while working on Staphylococci bacteria, once observed a mold growing in one of his unwashed culture plates around which Staphylococci did not grow. He found out that what is released which enables Staphylococci to grow. It was due to the chemical produced by the mold and he named it penicillin after the mold Penicillium notatum. However, its full potential as an effective antibiotic was established much later by Ernest Chain and Howard Florey. This antibiotic was extensively used to treat American soldiers wounded in World War II. Fleming, Chain, and Florey were awarded Nobel Prize in 1945 for this discovery. After penicillin, other antibiotics were also purified from other microbes. Can you name some other antibiotics and find out their sources? Antibiotics have greatly improved our capacity to treat deadly diseases such as plague, whooping cough, kali khansi, diphtheria, galgoto, and leprosy, kushtrok, which used to kill millions over the globe. Today, we cannot imagine a world without antibiotics. Chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. Microbes are also used for commercial and industrial production of certain chemicals like organic acids, alcohol, and enzymes. Examples of acid producers are Aspergillus niger, a fungus of citric acid, Acetobacter aceti, a bacterium of acetic acid, Clostridium butylicum, a bacterium for butyric acid, and Lactobacillus, a bacterium of lactic acid. Yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae is commonly used for commercial production of ethanol. Microbes are also used for production of enzymes. Lipases are used in detergent formulations and are helpful in removing oily stains from the laundry. You must have noticed that bottled fruit juices bought from the market are clearer as compared to those made at home. This is because the bottled juices are clarified by the use of pectinases and proteases. Streptokinase produced by bacterium Streptococcus and modified by genetic engineering is used as a clot buster for removing clots from the blood vessels and patients who have undergone myocardial infarction leading to the heart attack. Another bioactive molecule, cyclosporin A, that is used as an immunosuppressive agent in organ transplant patients, is produced by fungus Trichoderma polysporum. Statins produced by the yeast Monascus purpurus have been commercialized as blood cholesterol lowering agent. It acts by competitively inhibiting the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol.